making headlines. The president emphasizes the ocean is not merely a ability of the ocean is not a choice but a necessity for the island nation. And Islamic minister describes this year's arrangements for the Hajj pilgrimage as the best to date. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum and welcome to PSM News in English with me, Abdullah Ahil. And now the news in detail. President Dr. Mohammad Muiz has emphasized that for island nations like the Maldives, the ocean is not merely a natural resource but a vital lifeline. He made the statement in a social media post on the occasion of the World Oceans Day. In his message, President Muiz said the health of the planet begins with the health of the oceans. He highlighted that the ocean sustains Maldivian through fishing, tourism, and other essential sectors. However, the president also raised concerns about the growing impacts of climate change, warning that the warming oceans are shifting fish stocks and eroding the shores. He urged the need to renew the commitment to understanding, respecting and protecting the ocean that sustains us. The president established a dedicated ministry named the Ministry of Fisheries and Ocean Resources upon assuming office to work towards protecting marine resources. World Ocean Day was first proposed at the 1992 Earth Summit held in Rio de Janeiro. The day has been officially celebrated since 2008. The theme of this year's Ocean Day, Wonder, Sustaining What Sustains Us, is based on the sustainability of the oceans and emphasizes that marine resources are valuable. Minister of Fisheries and Ocean Resources Ahmad Shiam has insisted that ensuring the sustainability of the ocean is not a choice but a necessity for the island nation. In a post on social media to mark World Oceans Day, Minister Shiam said the ocean is not only part of Maldives' blue economy but infused in its lifeline, culture, and lifestyle. He said ensuring the sustainability of the ocean is not a choice but a necessity. Every year, the 8th of June is celebrated as World Oceans Day. The theme of this year's Oceans Day is Wonder, Sustaining What Sustains Us. Incumbent President Dr. Mohammad Muiz has identified the ocean with Maldives territory made up of 99% water as the greatest hope for a prosperous economy. In addition to investing in the country's capacity to patrol its territorial waters, President Dr. Muiz's administration has launched several initiatives to enhance and expand its fisheries industry aimed at maximizing its ocean resources. Minister of Islamic Affairs Dr. Muhammad Shaheen Ali Saeed describes this year's arrangements for the Hajj pilgrimage as the best to date. Speaking to PSM News during the visit to the Maldivian camp in Mina, Minister Dr. Shaheen lauded the near-perfect organization and arrangements by the Maldives Hajj pilgrimage for Maldivian pilgrims in the face of numerous challenges of a pilgrimage undertaken by over 1 million people from across the world. Despite the challenges, according to the minister, the corporation had delivered the best arrangements in comparison to previous years, which had been echoed by pilgrims during the many interactions he had with them. However, he did allude to some aspects that need improvement for the future. The minister said the greatest satisfaction under the excellent arrangements was that no Maldivian pilgrim had gone missing this year. Minister Dr. Shaheen also said this year's excellent Hajj arrangements had allowed pilgrims not to miss a single moment of their stay at Arafat, the most important pillar of the Hajj pilgrimage. Maldivian pilgrims for the first time had undertaken the pilgrimage under the Makkah Route Initiative. As part of the Pilgrim Experience program of Saudi Vision 2030, this initiative allows Maldivian pilgrims to proceed directly to their accommodations upon arrival in Saudi Arabia, thereby significantly enhancing their travel experience. Minister of Transport and Civil Aviation Mohammad Amin reveals the government taxi line service will be available to the public by the end of August. The decision by the government to introduce its own taxi line comes at the back of mounting complaints of poor quality, high taxi fares, and unavailability of taxis in the capital Malé region. The government has handed over the project to introduce a taxi line in the capital Malé region to the state-owned Maldives Transport and Contracting Company, or MTCC. The taxi line will use 100% environmentally friendly electric vehicle or EV taxis as the government prepares to roll out the initiative in the middle of the year. In an exclusive interview with PSM, Minister Amin said a supplier has been designated and the production of the taxis will commence on the 10th of June. He said the special designing required had caused the delay in the timeline, which was originally planned for July. Minister Amin had continuously allayed concerns of private taxi service providers over the imminent launch of the government taxi line. According to the minister, the service will open up opportunities for part-time and full-time cabbies. He had said the service will be managed by MTCC through a software similar to Uber or Grab concept. Deputy Managing Director of Island Aviation Services Limited, Ali Salim, reveals the national airline Maldivian received several proposals for the supply of an additional wide-body aircraft. Maldivian introduced its first wide-body aircraft of its fleet from Mohammed Muiz, while the Airbus A330 and 200. In an exclusive interview with PSM News, Ali Salim said that a lot of work is being done to bring another wide-body aircraft to Maldivian, adding that the announcement has attracted several proposals. Ali Salim said with the second wide-body aircraft, the airline will commence operations to Europe and other destinations with high demand, adding that the company has aimed October as a launch date. Maldivian has launched direct flights to 3 Chinese cities, Beijing, Shanghai, and Chengdu, with its first wide-body aircraft. Delivering this year's presidential statement, President Muiz said the acquisition of a second wide-body aircraft would introduce Maldivian's direct flights to European destinations. The government aims to commence these flights by October this year. The government believes the acquisition of a second wide-body aircraft will significantly boost Maldives tourism. The government hopes to increase the number of tourists visiting the Maldives from long-haul markets with the launch of direct flights to these destinations. Insight into business, Pakistanis express hope that the upcoming government budget will lower prices and support vulnerable groups. Pakistan will present its annual budget on June 10th for the financial year 2025 to 2026, with many watching for taxation and policy measures that could affect inflation. Local business tycoon Aqil Karim Deddi said he does not expect much relief for ordinary people from the upcoming budget due to IMF conditions. In the capital Islamabad, the head of a traders' body said the government should curtail its expenditure and increase income. President of the Pakistan Traders Association Ajmal Baloch said if it does not raise income and continues its expenditure through borrowing, it will have to suck more blood from the people who are already paying taxes. Pakistan's planning minister Ahsan Iqbal said on June 2nd that the country expects average inflation of 7.5% for the upcoming fiscal year 2025-26 and is targeting GDP growth of 4.2%. Moving on to world events, violent protests erupt in India's northeastern Manipur, leaving remains of burnt automobiles, damaged cars, and public properties on the streets. People of the Meitei community took to the streets in protest over the reports of the arrest of the leaders of Arambai Tengol, a Meitei youth organization. The protesters were demanding the release of their leaders. Armed security personnel were seen patrolling areas in the capital city of Imphal. Around 16% of Manipur's 3.2 million population belongs to the Meitei community, which controls the more prosperous lowlands, while around 16% are Kukis who live in the hills. The state has been subjected to a series of episodes of ethnic violence, which has killed at least 250 people over 2 years and displaced thousands. Large flames and smoke plumes were seen rising from a burning vehicle in Los Angeles as federal agents in Los Angeles faced off against demonstrators for a second day following immigration raids. President Donald Trump's administration said it would deploy 2,000 National Guard troops as security agents confronted around 100 protesters in the Paramount area in southeast Los Angeles, where some demonstrators displayed Mexican flags and others covered their mouths with respiratory masks. The protests pit Democratic-run Los Angeles, where census data suggests a significant portion of the population is Hispanic and foreign-born, against Trump's Republican White House, which has made cracking down on immigration a hallmark of his second term. A first round of protests kicked off on Friday night after Immigration and Customs Enforcement agents conducted enforcement operations in the city and arrested at least 44 people on alleged immigration violations. Hundreds of protesters marched on Nice's famed Promenade d'Anglais to demand better protection for the world's oceans and marine wildlife ahead of the United Nations Ocean Conference, or UNOC3. The participants in the Blue March, both private citizens and members of local and international NGOs, chanted slogans and carried signs denouncing activities such as bottom trawling with the Mediterranean Sea as a backdrop. Co-hosted by France and Costa Rica, UNOC3 aims to accelerate action on protecting the world's oceans. The UN conference, which gathers heads of state, policymakers, scientists, and NGOs, will cover climate change, pollution, biodiversity, and making humanity's access to marine resources more sustainable. Previous conferences were hosted in 2017 by Sweden and Fiji in New York, and in 2022 by Portugal and Kenya in Lisbon. Trevor Story keys an early comeback with a bases-clearing double in a 5-run third inning and added a 2-run single in the 9th to lift the visiting Boston Red Sox over the New York Yankees 10-7. Rookie Christian Campbell hit RBI singles in the second and third innings off New York starter Ryan Yarbrough 3-1 as the Red Sox bounced back from Friday's 9-6 loss. Abraham Toro added an RBI single ahead of Story's big hit in the third, then Rami Gonzalez hit a 2-run homer in the fourth as the Red Sox rallied from a 3-1 deficit and gave ace Garrett Crochet a 5-run lead. Story and Gonzalez both finished with 3 hits to lead a 14-hit attack. Crochet, 6-4, was not as dominant as in recent outings and allowed a season-high 5 runs on 6 hits in 6 innings. The left-hander struck out 9, including Aaron Judge 3 times, walked 1, and threw 97 pitches in his first career start at Yankee Stadium. For New York, Austin Wells hit a 3-run homer in the second and added an RBI double in the fourth. Pablo Reyes followed Wells' homer with an RBI groundout, and DJ LeMahieu delivered a 2-run single in the 8th off Justin Wilson, who protected an 8-7 lead by striking out Wells. After the Red Sox took a 10-7 lead on Story's single, Aroldis Chapman pitched a 1-2-3 ninth for his 10th save as Boston evened the 3-game series. Yarbrough was shelled for 8 runs on 9 hits in 4 innings. The soft-tossing left-hander struck out 3 and walked 2. After Wells homered into the right field seats to give the Yankees a 3-1 lead, the Red Sox capitalized on shaky defense in the third. Cody Bellinger could not make a sliding catch on a double by Rob Refsnyder. Then 2 batters later, Gonzalez reached on an infield single when fill-in shortstop Oswaldo Peraza was unable to get the out at third. Torrey's bloop RBI single got the Red Sox within 3-2. Then 2 pitches later, Story scorched a double off third baseman Reyes' glove. The ball went down the left field line and into the corner, easily clearing the bases for a 5-3 lead. Campbell followed with his second RBI single to make it 6-3. In the fourth, Gonzalez lifted a first-pitch sweeper into the left field seats for an 8-3 lead before the Yankees scored twice in the bottom of the inning. A fire brigade removed the carcass of a whale stranded on a beach in Rio de Janeiro's Barra de Tijuca neighborhood. Veterinarian Yasminda Walibi from Rio de Janeiro University's Aquatic Mammals Lab said winter marks migration season for whales, making stranded mammals along the coastal region a common sight. Residents gathered behind a cordoned-off area as experts collected samples and firefighters used heavy machinery to remove the carcass. Brazilian media outlets reported that the carcass was from a 6-meter-long humpback whale and that the operation to remove the dead animal took approximately 4 hours. And that's all the news we have for today. We'll be back with any further updates. Until then, I'm Abdullah Ahil from PSM News.
Shisha presents Boduedu Sadasteka Salis Haye. Main sponsor MU Store, MediaNet, Uridu Maldives, Diragu, iCare, Brew and Feast. Co-sponsor Sosam Fihara, gift partner Koki, All Tech.
I'll go home first. No need, I have everything.
Telefona, hingga saya bolanda. Midani hinge.
ಕೂಡ ಡಿವೈಸ್ ಒಡೆತಿಗುಳುಂತ ಉರಿದು ಈ ಸಿಮ್ ಆಕ್ಟಿವೇಟ್ ಕೊಲ್ಲ
No need, I have everything.
Koba, Uduhilan Tayarta, Neoti, Rogutuas, Jefa, Lacno, Bodufa promo. Me promoga Baruma, Hatarlito, Lacno juice, Balavagtuma for receipt photo, import, and upload for lava. Come Fihare Kumas Balavagan. ರಾಜ್ಯಗೆ ಕೊಮ್ಮೆ ಏರ್ಪೋರ್ಟ್ಗೆ ದತುರು ಕೊಲ್ಲುಮಗೆ ಉಫಾ ಲಕ್ನೋ ಬೊಡು ಉಫಾ ಪ್ರೊಮೋ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆಫಾ ಲಕ್ನೋ authorized distributor MU Store.
ಲುಲುಕ್ ಫೆಣುಂ ಮುಸಾಫುಮಕಿ ಆಮು ದಿರುಳುಮ್ಗಾ ಕುರಾ ಕಂತತ್ತ ಫುರಿಹಮ ಕುರುಮ ಎಳಿಗೆಂದಾ ಹೊರಹೆ ಮಿಸ್ಕಿತುಗಾ ಹೇದ ಕುರಾ ವಗದುತಕ ಖೇಮು ಫದ ಉಫಾತಕು ಮಖ್ರೂಮ್ ಕುರುವ ಫದಕಮೆ ಐಕಿಯಾ ಹಾಸ್ಪಿಟಲ್ಗಾ ಪ್ರೀಮಿಯಂ ಕೆಟರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಸರ್ಜರಿಗೆ ಜರಿಯಾಯನ್ ದಿರುಳುಮ ಉಜಾಲಾ ಕಂಗೆಡಿಸ್ತೇನ್ ಕೆಟರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಸರ್ಜರಿಯಕಿ ಫಸೇಹಕಮ ಕಾಮಯಾಬು ಕಮಾಯಕು ಲೊಲುಗು ಫೆಣುಂ ರುಜುವ ಕೊದ್ದೆ ಸರ್ಜರಿಯೇ ದಿರುಳುಮುಗೆ ಉಜಾಲಾಕಂ ಅಲುನ್ ತಜುರ್ಬಾ ಕೊಲ್ಲವ್ವಾ ಐಕಿಯಾಕು ತಫಾತು ಬಲ್ಲವಾಲವ್ವಾ
Yogi Kids, our best yogurt snack to go, with the best of milk and all the flavour of delicious fruit. What they need when out and about or at home. It doesn't get more delicious than this.